Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I am back with day 3 of Storytime week. If you have not seen the previous 2 stories, make sure to go watch it before or after this one. Doesn't make a difference, doesn't have to be in order, just make sure that you do it. I kind of had to go with a dark-ish kind of look today because this story was a dark time in my life. And as you may have noticed in the title, it said extra roommate from hell. Yeah, that's because I was only assigned one roommate from hell, but this girl was just, it's kind of like stray cats. You feed them once and they keep coming back. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, just stay tuned. So this all happened my junior year of college, and like I said, I was only assigned one roommate at St. John's. To live by yourself costs the most. To live with just one other person comes in second, and then there's the option of 3 people in a room, and then the lowest is 4 people in the room. So I paid second to most to only live with one person. So how all of this ended up happening, I don't know, but anywho, it was the beginning of the school year, and let me just point out, because I'm not sure, but my roommate may or may not catch this video. If you do, just know that I love you. I have no problems with you. Your friend just ain't shit. Sorry. So it was the beginning of the year, and my roommate, we're gonna call her Shakleese, had pointed out that she had a friend from the previous year, we're gonna call her Keisha, who she wanted to come hang out with us. It's college, you know, get to know people when you're in college. So we were all like, okay, sure, whatever, bring her along. So we went out a first time, and nothing really happened that first time to, like, you know, really have a full idea of whether or not this is someone you want to befriend. But she dropped like little hints on why this may not end well. Always listen to those little hints. After we went out the first time, we didn't really hang out again. There were just like certain times where we would like see each other, or she would bring her over to the suite, where she would just show that she's just, she was obnoxious. The way she talked was just obnoxious. Like, I know I do sometimes, but like, she's one of those, like, it's every other like syllable, it's every other sound in her sentence. It's like, well, like, I didn't know who she like, and I'm just like, really? So she was obnoxious, she was selfish, she was a complainer. Like, every other thing out of her mouth was a complaint. Like, my God, why is my professor giving all this homework? I don't want to go home, my mom's doing, my brother's doing, man, my boyfriend. I was going insane after being around this girl for like 3 or 4 different occasions. So everything pretty much like hit the fan-ish, I guess, at Tipoff. St. John's is a very big basketball school. It is a Division I basketball team. So after tip-off, there was a tip-off party. So we were like, let's go to the tip-off party. That was where I really just realized, like, I really just can't fuck with you at all, because just getting to tip-off was an issue. You know, when you're friends, you take turns doing certain things. You know, like, you take turns driving so the other people can have a chance to have fun. And one thing with her is she never wanted to do this thing called like taking turns, helping each other out, stuff like that. Getting there were more people who were going with us than there were drivers. So her, being how you already have your car on campus, you would think you would just drive so that we can get there with no issue. She was like, I don't want to drive, I want to drink, I want to turn up, da da da. So it was like, okay, fine, if you don't want to drive, then you, along with some of the other people, will hop in an Uber and meet us there. She didn't want to do that either. I don't want to get in the Uber. Are we going to take turns getting in the Uber? Like, if I go in the Uber now, is someone else going to do it later and I can hop in the car? And it was just like, yo, seriously? So we finally figure out how we're going to get there. We get there, and it's the tip-off after party. The basketball team is going to be in attendance. Like, you didn't think this was going to be like a packed event. It's pretty smushed in there. So we're standing there, and she had like some other friends that were with her, Keisha, the roommate friend, and they were complaining in the club, and it was just like, why'd you come? Like, why'd you come? But while we're standing there, another group of girls are passing by, and they bump into Keisha. Keisha turns around like, watch where you're going, don't do it. And I was like, really? Really? You're one of those? Oh, you're one of those? Okay, nah, this ain't gonna work. Did it? No, not gonna happen. So Shakleese had to like kind of like calm her down, and her other little friends like, calm down, like, it's not that serious. And I was looking like, I ain't doing a damn thing. Had that group of girls turned around and jumped you, I would have been like, y'all get y'all get an extra kick in there for me, because I don't know. So now it's time to leave the party, and like she said before, I'm not getting in the Uber. People who drove in the car for free should have to like switch and get in the car, and I'm looking at her like, bitch, you wish I would. And so then she comes up with the bright idea of, oh, like, how about none of us get in the Uber and we'll just double up on each other. So basically, she wanted us to just sit on top of each other in the back seat of the car, which is what we ended up doing. And while I'm sitting there with like a grown-ass female on my lap, I'm just like, I mean, I could have been in my bed, reading a book, watching YouTube videos, all the stuff I could have been doing. But no, I wanted to listen to my friends and go out. So we get back to the campus. Mind you, she didn't live on campus. She lived off campus. I don't know where she went after that. But after that, it was a done deal. I had to let my roommate know, I do not fuck with your friend. No. Like, I'm explaining, like, mind you, you know when one of your friends ain't shit. Like, when someone comes and tells you, like, something they did or something they're doing that is wrong, and you know how they just kind of look at you like, yeah, I kind of know what you're saying is true, but that's still my friend, so I kind of have to still have their back, which is fine. I just don't have to do it or deal with it. So this is the part that I need you guys to let me know, like, am I the one who's wrong here? If the roles were reversed and my roommate had come to me and was like, look, I don't really care for your friend, you know, she has an attitude problem, she has this problem, da 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 da. If my roommate had come to me and told me that, obviously I'm not going to stop being that person's friend, but I would know, like, okay, let me, like, cool it on bringing her around to the suite. Let me cool it on, like, having them around together. Let me go to her house. Let me go do things, like, here on campus, whatever. If I am going to bring her around to the suite, like, let me do it when my roommate's at class. Stuff like that. Like, am I wrong in thinking, like, that's how it should have went? Let me know in the comments down below. Because that's not what happened at all. Tip-off was, like, mid-October. By early mid-November, she was there from sun up to sundown. I would go to class, she was there. I'd come back from class, she was there. I'd go away for the weekend, she was there. I'd come back, she was there. She was there when my roommate wasn't even there. Like, my roommate would go to class, I'd wake up in the morning to get ready to go to class, I walk into the suite area and she's there. And I'm just looking around like, I know she's in class, so what is her friend doing here? She was there every single day. And I wasn't the only one who noticed. Like, me and Shaclise had mutual friends who would come and they'd be like, so she's here every day? And I'm like, yeah, she's here every day. The other girls, because St. John's, their dorming is by, like, suites, so there would be a common area with, like, a living room, a couch, and then there would be, like, 3 to 4 bedrooms that would hold different amounts of people. So even the other people in the other bedrooms in our suite were like, so she's just gonna be here every day? One of my suite mates was like, oh, well, if she can come every day, I can bring my boyfriend every day. And I had to let her know, no, the fuck you cannot. Boo-boo, where? Who? It's bad enough that she's walking around in her underwear like she lives here. Your boy ain't gonna be here in his boxers. I don't think so. No. And it was one thing that she was there every single day, but it was like, yo, like, learn how to behave yourself when you're out at places. Like, you're not home. I hope you realize that. You're not at home. You're at someone else's home. Learn how to be a civilized person. There were times where Shaclise and Keisha would do their weaves in the living room. Keisha leaves finally, goes home. I wake up in the morning, their weave is still laid out on the couch. Like I said before, Keisha would walk around with her panties and her bra on. And what did it for me is, one time my roommate was nowhere close to on campus. I don't know where she was. Maybe she was with a boyfriend. Maybe she went home. I don't know where she was. But the suite door, there was a knock on the suite door. One of my suite mates opened it, and it's Keisha. She walks into the suite, walks into my bedroom, like, opens the door. She's on the phone with Shaclise looking for something that I guess that she left in the room. Is walking around looking for whatever it is that she's looking for. She finds what she's looking for, and then she turns around and leaves. Did I fail to mention that she didn't actually knock on my bedroom door? She didn't wait for a response on whether or not she could actually come in to my bedroom. When she did walk in to my bedroom, did not say a word to me. Mind you, at that point, every time that she was there every day, we were not speaking to each other. Like, I just acted like she wasn't there. I didn't see her. I don't like you. You don't like me. Let's not play with each other. And she found what she was looking for, and then she left. So I wasn't in the room by myself. Another mutual friend of me and Jacqueline was in the room with us, and she's looking at me like, and I'm looking at her like, yeah, what? Yeah, that really just happened. So at that point, I'm thinking to myself, is St. John's going to give me like a discount or something? Because apparently I'm not living with just one person. I'm living with two. Now, I would like to think that I was not a difficult roommate to have. She knew where my food stash was, so if she ever wanted food, she could help herself. I'd go home for the weekend. She'd be like, my cousin's coming over. Can you sleep in your bed? That's fine. She shared my makeup, clothes, whatever. Like, she knew, like, she pretty much didn't have to ask. Because it was like, I'm cool with you. You're cool with me. Like, me and Shaquille had, like, a mutual understanding of, like, what it was between us. So I was never that ready to be confrontational with, you know, Keisha, because it was just like, I've told you guys in previous stories, I'm not really a confrontational person. I'm a petty person, and I have a mouth on me, but I know when and when not to use it. So she came back, I told her about that. And, like, throughout the time of all of this going on, I would leave, like, little petty remarks and comments, like, so she's here again? She doesn't have a home? Like, you know damn well, if, like, we were kids and we were home and you kept bringing, like, this friend to your house every day, your parents would look at you like, he or she doesn't have a home to go to? They're here every day. So, yeah, I made comments like that, like, oh, she's here again. Oh, she's here again. So no? It's 11 o'clock at night. Do her parents know where she is? So yeah, I made comments like that. So it went on like that from about November to March. Yeah, that's how long that went on. Where I would just make remarks about why is she here, why is she here, why is she here, and they would all go ignored, and she'd be there every single day. Like, it got to the point where I didn't even want to be in the room that I paid to be in. I would go hang out in other people's rooms and just pretty much like sleep there. But the day came where your girl had finally had enough of it. I was in the room with a mutual friend of me and Shaquille, and then Shaquille came in with Keisha to do their laundry. I didn't care about that because it's not like the machines were in the suite. They had to go to the bottom floor of the building to do that. So they go downstairs to do their laundry, put the stuff in the machine, and then come back up to the dorm. They come back up, and Keisha goes to take a shower in our bathroom. So she finishes up her shower, she gets her laundry, and she leaves with Shaquille, but they both kind of leave with an attitude, and I'm just like, if anybody should have an attitude, you two are the last ones who should have them. After they left, I went to the bathroom, and I noticed that my body wash, like my shit, is moved, used, wet, and I'm just like, oh hell no. Oh hell no. No, she did not use my shit to take a shower. That's not what happened. I know that's not what happened. I go back into the room, that mutual friend was still there. I was like, am I crazy? She did not just use my stuff to take a shower. So I was like, alright, I've had enough. Now I'm waiting for Shaquille to come back. So Shaquille comes back, and I'm just like, did your friend take a shower in our bathroom? This bitch has the nerve to turn around and look at me. What's the problem, Shanine? What's the problem? Is there a problem? Y'all, like I said, I'm not a confrontational person. However, my mouth can go from chill to petty to savage real quick, which is what happened. I was like, excuse me? Yeah, there is a problem. Your friend doesn't fucking live here. So next time she comes here, let her know not to touch shit that she didn't pay for. She can't pay for Ubers, so she's not going to be out here reimbursing people for stuff that she touched. That's what the problem is. And my voice also changes like pitches when I start getting angry too. So she knew I was not having it. So she didn't say anything. She was like, whatever, Shanine, fine, whatever. And she left. So I think she like went to go finally stay the night at Keisha's house. I was wondering if her address even existed. So the next day, Shaquille comes back and me and her get into it. She's like, oh, Keisha was here and she heard you and the mutual friend that was in the room talking about her. I don't take that kindly. I don't take disrespecting my friends kindly. Da 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 da. Like I'm looking at her like, who the fuck you getting feisty with? Like, that's all that's going through my head while she's saying all this. Like, you really have the nerve to have an attitude with me? Really? So one thing I can't stand, like, I hate when people are like, oh, you always do this, and you're like, name one time, and they're like, oh, you always do it. Okay, well, if I always do it, then you should be able to name one time when I do it. So when she's like, oh, she heard you guys talking about her in the room, I'm like, okay, so what did I say? I didn't get a response on what it was that I said to her. And I was like, I'm assuming she didn't just tell you, oh, I heard them talking about me. If you hear someone talking about you, you're going to be like, I heard so-and-so talking about me. They were like, your weave is dingy, your bag is dated, da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so what did I say? And she can't answer that. And of course you can't answer that, because the bitch didn't hear me saying anything about her. If anything, whenever she's around, all I'm saying is, why is she here? Why is she here? And that, I don't care if she hears. Because so then she has the nerve to say, I pay to live here, I can bring whoever I want here. I was like, bitch, I pay to live here, and I don't pay to live with people who don't pay to live here. Like, what don't you understand? Your friend doesn't pay to live here. I mean, if she wants to reimburse me for the amount of money that I had to pay to stay here, she can kindly move in, and I'll go stay home. My house is only like an hour away from campus, okay? So at this point, this conversation is going nowhere. It's just nagging on. If there's one thing I cannot stand, it's nagging. I can't constantly repeat myself. I'm not going to listen to someone constantly repeat themselves. I said what I said, and that's it. She said what she had to say. I said what I had to say. This conversation was over, and we did not speak to each other for like a month. Mainly because she said something that I don't even want to say like hurt, but more so like I took offense to. In that conversation, she was like, you need to learn how to treat people. Oh, now I need to learn how to treat people. But when you were borrowing things from me, when you were asking me for help, which I did with no questions asked, I guess that wasn't being a good friend, right? Because I won't allow your hood booger friend to get away with murder, now I don't know how to treat people. Oh, okay. Eventually we did work things out, and we are friends now. One, due to our mutual friends helping us fix things out, and two, because I do care about this girl. Like, we were friends before this incident, so why allow some outsider to get in between us being friends now? I just know how to go about things now and to not hang around her friends that I don't care for. So the moral of the story is, for those of you who are starting college for the first time and are living away from home, or you're going back for another year but you're living with new people or the same people, your housing arrangement while you're in college should feel like home. Whether you're living on campus or you're living off campus, do not wait like I did until things just blow up and then for a month you're miserable living with someone who you don't care for at the moment. If you don't like something that's going on, say something to your roommate. If they don't care, say something to your RA. That's why they're there. Some of them actually do care. Do not let things just build like that, because then you're stressing yourself out, and it just makes school so much harder than it already is. And if it's not bad enough that you have to deal with tests and projects and deadlines, and maybe you have a job outside of that too, like you have to deal with petty bullshit like this, don't do it to yourself. Fix the issue fast so it doesn't become an issue. So it's just like a small thing we can sweep under the rug. So that's it for this video. Once again, I hope hearing a crazy moment in my life has put a smile on your face. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, where I will be taking it back to my retail days. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Baby.